Jonah was sent by God with a message for the Assyrians. To get the most out of the book of Jonah, you need to understand that the Assyrians had risen from an insignificant city and were rapidly becoming a fierce empire at that time, an empire that was threatening to where Jonah came from. Remember, the northern kingdom, Israel. About 50 years before Jonah came on the scene, Assyria was ruled by Shalmaneser III. He launched 31 military campaigns in 35 years and greatly expanded the Assyrian influence to the extent that all the countries around Israel were paying tribute to Assyria just to keep them out of their borders. 841 BC is a very significant date relating to Assyria, Israel, and Jonah. In 841 BC, Assyria attacked Israel's neighbor, Syria. Now, note that Assyria and Syria are not the same places. Assyria was this empire, and Syria is a country that still exists, a close neighbor to Israel. Because Syria was so close to Israel, when that then king of Israel, Jehu, saw that Assyria had attacked Israel, he decided to play it safe and start paying tribute to Assyria as well. Now, there were two more Assyrian kings after Shalmaneser III, both of whom continued to expand and strengthen the Assyrian army, and they were even more cruel and vicious, if that's possible, than Shalmaneser III had been. So is it any wonder then that by the time Jonah came along, when Jeroboam II was ruling in Israel, somewhere between 782 and 753 BC, the very last people he would have wanted to see blessed by God, and the very last place on earth he would have wanted to go, was Nineveh, capital city of Assyria. By this time, a king called Shalmaneser IV was on the throne of Assyria, and he is probably the king talked about in the book of Jonah, who heard Jonah's preaching and who, according to the Bible, repented of his violence. Amazingly, despite the fact that he had just inherited a vicious military empire that was growing in strength and power, this king, Shalmaneser IV, left no records of military conquests at all. Very, very unusual. So much so that he was considered a weak and inept leader by later kings. Probably the Jonah effect.